The Torah portion this week is Shoftim. Shoftim v'shotrim titen lecha b'chol sha'arecha. You shall appoint magistrates and officials for your tribes and all the settlements that the Lord your God is giving you, and they shall govern the people with due justice. The famous quote, "Justice, justice shalt thou pursue," is contained in the Torah reading, as well as the laws about never destroying a tree, one of the early environmental insights as to the beauty of nature and animal life never to be wantonly destroyed, in this week's Torah portion of Shoftim. Shalom, it's Rabbi David Barron with a Torah Talk this week. First of all, I want to say I hope everyone in the congregation and family and friends and all of you who are watching this Torah Talk are in good health and staying healthy and safe as we continue to re-enter society and kids go back to school and we begin resuming, some of us distance, some of us in our offices, the normal pace of life. This is something we all desperately need to do, but we want to do so safely and consciously. The Torah portion this week is really a rich mine full of gold. It is the portion of Shoftim. It's a little more on the legalistic end, but after all, laws are given to us so that we can govern fairly and effectively and honestly. And the Torah portion, Shoftim v'shotrim, judges and magistrates shall you appoint among all of your villages throughout your land. And the idea that justice had to be meted out in fairness. You couldn't favor the rich. You couldn't give undue favoring of the poor because of their condition. You had to have one standard of justice. In fact, the famous quote, Tzedek, tzedek tirdof, justice, justice shalt thou pursue. And the rabbis asked the question, why is the word tzedek repeated twice? It's the same word. Why not just say, justice shalt thou pursue? The emphasis, again, is that it's the same justice, whether you're famous or unknown, whether you're a man of great import or you shine shoes, whether you are someone who has amassed great wealth or you're poor. It doesn't matter. It has to be the same standard of justice applied fairly and equally to everyone who's brought before the bar of justice. And we know throughout history that sometimes these laws have become perverted. We know that was true in Germany, the Nuremberg laws that were passed. Well, they're law. So when a law is derived only from a human's perspective, only from the perspective of what someone is trying to accomplish, their agenda, which sometimes can be discriminatory, as in our country, there were laws that restricted the rights of African Americans or other minorities. There were quotas in colleges that a certain number of Jews could be permitted to enter into professional schools, medical schools, law schools. And eventually these were overturned as our society evolved and recognized the injustice. And of course, in Germany, one of the first things that the Nazis did was they corrupted the judiciary so they could enforce their Nuremberg laws, laws that banned Jews, that restricted Jews, that made Jews sell their businesses, that humiliated Jewish people. They made those the law of the land. And then at that point, the judges turned a blind eye. And that, of course, is why the Torah emphasizes the importance of the laws deriving from a divine source and also being meted out with fairness and equality to all. Also in today's Torah portion, there is a wonderful rule about never cutting down a tree in a time of war. And the commentators say you really shouldn't cut down a tree at any time. And it's broadened to the way you treat animals, the principle of Bal Tashchit, thou shalt not wantonly destroy anything on this planet, is derived from the Torah reading and from that specific verse. The idea that we as human beings should not abuse the place we live, our planet Earth, our home, a gift given to us by our Creator for our enjoyment, absolutely, but also with the duty and responsibility of preserving it for future generations. So the laws of justice, as well as the laws of keeping an eye on the place we inhabit, this planet Earth, are so critical and, of course, emphasized in this week's Torah portion. I think we can implement that in our own personal lives and make sure that everything we do is for the benefit and improving humanity, improving our place, the places we live and inhabit, and making it a better world for us to enjoy and for the next generation. Shabbat Shalom.